Taylor Swift. I'm sitting here with the Rhapsody box, as you can see, that it's the box of Rhapsody. And you guys have sent in questions, so I'm really excited about that, and I'm going to answer them. That's cool? Cool. I didn't hear any protest. Okay, so the first question that you've asked is, if you were trapped on an island and you had all of your basic survival necessities covered, food, water, shelter, clothes, and you could bring 3 things with you, what would you bring? I would bring a big sweater because I get cold very easily. Even on an island, I imagine I would probably get really cold at night. I would also bring, would I get cell service? I would bring my phone because that has so many different, you got a camera, you've got like all these things on it, so I'd bring my phone. And I would also bring, I would bring my journal so I could write how many days I was there and definitely keep a tally of it. Journal and pen in one combination. I would have one of those journals that has a pen on it so that doesn't take up an extra item on my list of 3. Next question is, what is the name of the first song you ever wrote and what is it about? The first song that I ever wrote was called Lucky You. Lucky You. It was about a girl who dares to be different. Yeah, she's different from everybody else, and then lots of like little 12-year-old lyrics. I think you can probably find it online because I think it's online. So if you want to hear me at 12 sounding like a chipmunk, then go for it. What's your favorite song you've written, or which song is your favorite to perform live? My favorite song that I've written is probably Love Story. I've got to go with the first song that was ever really a big crossover hit, and it went international, and that just opened up a lot of doors. So I think that for me it would be my favorite song to perform live and my favorite song that I've written because I just have really fond memories of that entire experience, writing that song and seeing it go out into the world and become its own thing. At the end of the day, what's the one thing you're most proud of? For me, the one thing I'm most proud of is having written all of my songs. And on my new album, Speak Now, I've written all of the songs without any co-writers, and that's something that I'm really excited about. It's not something I planned on doing for this album, but now that that's the album, now that all of the songs that I wrote by myself kind of rose to the top, I'm really happy that that happened and proud of it, if you will. If you could be one other person for a day, who would you be? I would be Emma Stone. She's one of my really, really good friends, and she's so funny. Like, I've never met a funnier person, just naturally. And she's got this really, like, raspy voice that just makes everything sound really funny. So if I could be that funny for a day, that would be amazing. And so I would be Emma. What do you feel when you're on the stage? For me, being on stage, I feel everything that I felt when I wrote that particular song in front of thousands of people. For me, it's really about going back to where I was emotionally when I wrote that song and feeling it as deeply as I can, and really expressing that. So when I'm singing a really sad song, I'm really sad. And when I'm singing a happy song, like Love Story or You Belong With Me, I'm really happy and really taking that energy in from the crowd. How did you get that tiny scar above your left knee? I noticed it at the concert. Wow. Okay, you're gonna think I'm really nerdy now after I answer this. When I was 13 years old, I had a hobby that is not, I don't know. Every day when I would get home from school, if I wasn't writing songs or anything, I would make popsicle stick houses and castles and mansions out of popsicle sticks. And I would glue gun them together with a glue gun. And I had these little teeny tiny little felt bears that I would like that would live in these popsicle stick houses. And One day I was making a popsicle stick house. It had a slide and everything. Was awesome. Swing set, the whole deal. And I got a little too overzealous with the glue gun. Fell right onto my leg. And I'm like, oh, ouch, pulled it off. Whoa, that's going to be a scar. Please don't stop listening to my music because I told you that story. This next question this is the last question actually. How are things going living by yourself? Is it harder or easier? It's easier. I'm really glad that I moved out when I was 20 because I don't feel like I moved out too early. I feel like it was the right time for me. And I think that's the most important thing, is making sure that, if the right time is when you're 18 and you're going to college, then that's great. If it's when you're 19 or 20 or whenever it is that you move out, I think it's just the most important thing that it feels right. And it definitely feels like the perfect scenario. I have mismatched kitchen chairs and mismatched knobs on the cabinets in my kitchen, and just everything feels really whimsical and kind of magical about my place. And I really love that. I have goldfish. It's really nice. So thank you so much for your questions. Thank you for sending them in. And thank you to Rhapsody for providing me with this excellent, life-changing box of questions.